There we go. There we go. Mic is unmuted now. Perfect. Alrighty then. Much love, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Pretty sure I'm the only one here so far, and that's okay. Yeah.
Well, you can get it out of there.
Not very good.
Right in the top.
Oh,
And it is on there.
hey, Brother Ron Time. Much love to you. God bless you. Thanks for coming. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Okay, this is connected now. Let's see. Just getting things started. Something is definitely wrong with his phone. Yeah, he said he's doing okay. Well, thank you, Lord. Always good to hear, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's 24 years.
20 years of what?
Terrorism.
Oh, yeah, 9/11. That day. That's right. Happy September 11th to you guys. I mean, it's not really supposed to be a happy day or something, but I don't know what you say for that. But much love to people. That's for sure. Definitely got some clearage. I'm gonna try something. Can we put this back on? I take I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know. I like it now. Might be my angle. Could be. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, that's probably just the angle. Okay. Could be good. I think so. No, might need something a bit higher up. Yeah. Oh yeah. What have you? Okay. Now with the little steps, I was gonna be letting me. All right. It's white. Oh, you want to put your video on? Connect yours now. Let's see. Oh, connect yours.
Well, they're pretty seasoned.
It's on the speaker. No, you just hook your YouTube up, your phone.
Yeah, the volume.
Yeah, the volume gonna come out of that speaker. Fire stick's connected to that. Whoever's device connected to the telly is gonna go through that speaker. Oh, good. Well, I just had to reconnect it. That's why. Just reconnecting now. There you go. Mm.
But when she's
Mm.
I started making oh, that one to be.
Mm. Oh, probably not.
Well, for me, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, McKenna on how to power manifest money. Come on, man. Let's power manifest some money together, fam. Let's do it.
The logic in the idea that success and heart attacks go together. But the unconscious mind is not logical, it's purposeful. And its purpose is survival, right? So you can think with your conscious mind all you want. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Your unconscious mind goes, I don't think so. And it stops you. You're assuming this is kind of community that we are here. And then general levels of happiness, 1 to 10. Just make notes, make them in your head. Boom. Then leave right? All of your energy, yeah? And some people say, well, isn't this manifesting stuff? Isn't it a bit woo-woo, a bit ooga-booga? Well, yeah, if you like, you could call it that. But look, what we can say from a quantum point of view is energy affects energy. That's it, no one's arguing with that, yeah? So your energy, your behaviors, your thoughts, everything, the sum total of all of that will help you bring about what it is you want or close to it, yeah? So let's get back to Napoleon Hill. He writes his book. He gets tons of sales. He dies bankrupt because he hasn't changed how he felt on the inside. So about 20 years ago, I thought to myself, why don't I do this? Why don't I set up and write a book to study super rich people and find out how they think? Because by the way, I'm not interested in rich and poor people. I'm interested in rich and poor thinkers, right? Now, poor thinkers, they're running from lack all the time. They're terrified they're never going to have enough, right? So you can have someone who's fabulously wealthy, but they're still a poor thinker. Yeah, they're moving away from lack. Rich thinkers see opportunity. They think in terms of possibility. They're creative. They're adaptive. It's a different mindset. And if you don't mind, what I'm going to do, because as I mentioned, I'm a hypnotist, I'm going to install that within you. I'm not going to install my model of happiness in you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to install my best version. I'm going to elicit from you your best version, I should say, of how to think rich, right? Because you might have slightly different values to me. You know, your model of happiness might be different to mine. So rather than install in your head my model, I'm going to elicit from you what is your richest life. So on a scale of 1 to 10 right now, just take a moment and think about these major areas of your life and rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 would be terrible, 10 would be fantastic. Health, mental fitness. What's the number? Because we're going to see how much they changed at the end of the session. Then relationships, personal and professional.
11.
Then career.
12.
Finance.
13 minus 12.
Spirituality. That's important to you. Assuming this kind of community that we are here. And then general levels of happiness, 1 to 10. Just make notes, make them in your head. Boom. Then leave them aside because we're going to come back to them a little bit later. So I decide I'm going to write a book. I'm going to try and do an updated version of Think and Grow Rich because 8 years has passed and hell, I'm really into modeling. That is studying and codifying how it is that people think and act that makes them exceptional. I also use it as a therapist to find out how people are dysfunctional so I can go change it. Yeah. So literally, a few days later, as soon as I commit to this, it's like the universe conspires against me. Turns in my favor, right? Richard Branson, Oh, hi, Richard. Nice. I don't know him. He says, I'd like you to do a job for me. I went, yeah, sure. He says, wait, what are you going to charge me? I said, I'm not going to charge you a penny because I'd like to ask something of you. He goes, what's that? I said, I'd like to model you. That means I want to ask you questions and study the way you think and act. And he said, yeah, that's okay. I said, and I'm writing a book about it. If you like the book, will you
I know,
write
I'm
the
listening.
book? He says, if I like it, I will.
I know it.
And he did it, right? So next, a couple of days later, I'm sitting in this dinner party. I sit next to Anita Roddick. She's the founder of The Body Shop, right? She's this incredibly powerful, dynamic woman, entrepreneur. You know, she's a real inspiration. And I always wanted to meet her. I'm sitting up there, right? And I said, Anita, you know, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I've long admired, you know, what you've done. I'm doing this. She went, yes. I didn't finish the sentence, right? And she said, yes. I said, but you don't know what it is. She said, the energy, the vibe of it, I got was so I have to do this thing. I went, wow, right? Then so I just start meeting billionaires and you know, self-made entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs. I also met a whole lot of people who had a lot of money, but they were miserable, right? And so I decided I didn't want to model that, right? But there was another guy who called me, a guy called Sir David Barkley, sadly the self-made billionaire, right? And he's like a kingmaker, you know, he owned the Telegraph, a newspaper in England. And I used to yes. He says, look, I'd like you to do a job, right? It's for a family member. I said, okay. And he said, well, I'm just filming. I said, there's no bill. What do you mean? I said, no, I've never charged anyone in all the years I've been working with people individually. Yeah, whether they are rock stars, movie stars, whether they're a war veteran or you know something. So I just feel like I can help. Yeah, I've never charged a penny. Right? Because life has been real good to me. It's my kind of way of giving something back. Yeah. And he said, well, I must do something for you. I went, will you allow me to model you? He went, what does that involve? I said, just ask you some questions to find out how you think. Now, what was interesting is he said to me, on this journey which you're going for, you're going to meet a whole lot of people who are wealthy, but they're not wealthy. I said, can you tell me what you mean by that? He said, they're constantly running from poverty, right? They've grown up poor, they don't want to be poor, and so they literally can't get enough. They're in this sort of this endless mouse on a wheel, like journey just more and more and more and more, yeah? And so I said, that's really interesting. He said, so that is not what being rich is about, right? Sure, it's about having money, but it's about all these other things. In fact, there's a great saying by Bob Marley, which is, some people are so poor, all they have is money, right? So I'm not interested in creating more miserable millionaires here, right? And when I finished this book, by the way, which became great, became an international bestseller, I did the process on 12 people, right? And every single one of them made a lot more money. One person went from being, I wouldn't say it's earnings, but it's pretty modest, to being a millionaire in just over a year, right? He had all these resources that he didn't know he had. When he started thinking rich, right, he went, oh, I can charge that, and I can do this, and I can that, but bam, more than $1 million later, right? So don't be too surprised at what happens. You know, I did one of the processes I'm doing with it. I did it dinner the other night with a friend of mine. And he rang me up about 3 days later and said, God damn, he says, I just made 100 grand. He said, do you think it could be anything to do with like, yeah? So I want you to just do our first thought experiment, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment, and I'd like you to imagine what it's going to be like to live truly rich. So if you were living absolutely rich, what would it be like? There we go. Take a moment. As you could just take a moment to think about what it's like. And if you're living truly rich, what's the quality of your relationship like? What's the quality of your health like? That's mental and physical. If you're living truly rich, what's your career like? If you're living rich, what's your finances like? If you're living rich, what's your spiritual life like, if that's important to you? And if you're living rich, What's your levels of happiness like? Fulfillment. And then open your eyes and come on back out. Right. So we just took a snapshot there and then, right? I'm already priming your unconscious mind, right? Or rather, you're doing it, you're allowing it, yeah? Priming it, yeah, to get a sense of it, right? And this is really important because the golden rule is in modern psychology, you get more of what you focus on in life, right? Some people are continually thinking about what it is they don't have, yeah? They're going, oh, I don't, I wish I wasn't overweight, I wish I wasn't shy, I wish I wasn't single. They're reinforcing it, right? When we think about, sure, you've got to think about what it is you don't want so you can move away from it. But when you think about what it is you do want, you're instructing your unconscious mind, right? So again, poor thinkers all the time are in lack. They're thinking, God, how am I going to pay for it? Yep. They're not thinking in terms of opportunity. Now, a billionaire can afford a better bed than you and I. But when I look at it, when I have a great night's sleep, I'm sleeping rich. Yeah? Yeah. Many years ago, I was walking in Edinburgh, beautiful city, and walking with a friend of mine just after I read the book. And I'm walking down the street, the sun shining. Come on, Tom, let's do it! You know, it was anyway, it was shining. And I'm walking along and I think, this day is so beautiful. I'm so blessed. My life is great. I'm so friend, I'm having a rich moment. And he said, well, no, this, it's here all the time. Wow. See, I'm very much a fan of society through my psychology, but it's sort of set up to show you what you don't have continually. Edward Bernays, he was decades. He studied American public relations. And back in the 19th century, people flying through thousands or jackets was wearing them all out. And he went to corporations, he went, no. You've got to tell people if you find yourself by their watch, by their clothes, by their car, by their business. That way, you be able to see them. Right? So that's still the basis of consumers as well. What it also does is it can make some people think about what they don't have. Right? So they look at, particularly now with social media, so you photograph and look, so part of the brand is not. You know, it's important that everyone knows what they fucking do.
Seriously, what the hell?
But in the same way that some people can reinforce their lack, they can look at these people living these extraordinary lives on television or social media and go, and they can make themselves feel upset. Yeah? So what we're going to do is, again, my objective here is to get you thinking different, yeah? So that you have a new set of sexual filters. So as I mentioned, when you have a great night's sleep, as far as I'm concerned, you're sleeping rich. Who here, if they had all the money in the world, would change their job? Sure. Right, now, let me just put a caveat here, right? Because if some people go, well, I'd still do the same job, but I just wouldn't work as hard, right? So, to my mind, you're doing the right job, so you're working rich, as it were. You're just working too hard, right? Who here would change the thingy? Get all the money more. Yeah, people go, yeah, I'm a chef. But if you say, no, I would never eat Italian or Chinese or Indian ever again, that's a different thing. But you're probably going, well, I'd still eat those things. Well, I would probably eat a fancier restaurant, something like that. So a lot of the time, you're eating rich, right? Who here would change where they live? Yeah. Okay, you can change the country or the location, we have a bigger house or whatever. Yeah. Who here would change their friends? You can do that for free, by the way. No, every now and again, it's a good idea to just look through your phone and go, who takes my energy up? Who takes it down? You know? Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to do. Right. So I'm getting you to think about anything you answered no to. Right. You're already living rich. Anything you went, well, I would change it a bit or something. You're sort of half in, half out. I just want to draw your attention, you see, to how rich you already are. Because, as I mentioned, you get more of what you focus on, right? This is why gratitude list is a great idea. You know, I do one most days. I go walk my dog in the park. I experience the positive overwhelm of nature all the beautiful colors and shapes, and I feel so good. I feel connected to the universe, and I think to myself, I think, what am I grateful for? And I think my health, my friends, my family, the people I love, they love me. And that first cup of tea I have in the morning, breathing clean air, having a purpose in life. Purpose is the cornerstone of
So
mental
British.
health, as Victor Frankl mentioned.
First cup of tea in the morning.
So what we're going to do is learn
Oh, look at it.
That's when he did that, when he opened the phone, I just didn't
Yeah, exactly. For real. Well, we're definitely gonna be rich. Hell yeah. I choose rich every time.
Oh, snapshot, my life. Yeah. A friend of mine, Jason Belder, he goes, you just landed, like literally, you just landed on planet Earth. This is your partner. This is your house. This is your car. This is your job. These are your clothes. And you do it from a sort of, I just landed on planet. And look, take a moment to do it. Just think, I just landed on planet Earth. I've got all these friends. I've got purpose. I've got health. I've got opportunities.
And you guys walk it, you actually did.
It's a great wow.
And then I'm like, I want to get to the other end.
Some process where I'm going to try and pull some unconscious beliefs that might be holding you back, right? Because I've noticed, and it's, again, I'm not, there's no pointy fingers with this, right? But some people have beliefs around money, right, that hold them back. You know, people say to me things like, it says in the Bible, money is the root of all evil.
No, it says the love of money. Thank you.
Treating money like a commodity, yeah?
There you go.
Actually, money's great. Money does. Money is a machine.
You should love it more than your family or your loved ones, but
Technology and creativity, about art and science, and all the wonderful things going on is facilitated by money. Money is wonderful, right? Well, I hear terms like filthy rich, fat cat. Right? Do you know, I know somebody, he was trying to tell me the other day that nobody should be allowed to be a billionaire. And I said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
really, good for you.
It's just, they've got too much, haven't they? When them having a billion does not take a single cent away from you, my friend. If money's not finite, you just keep printing more and more of it, yeah? Yeah, more and more. And try,
Yeah.
you know, literally, if you are sat here and half a dollar back and forth, you just say, yeah.
Exactly.
Right? So, I need you to pull any unconscious beliefs that you've got around money. Okay, so we're going to do something called the meaning of money. The slide's going to come up here. Now, what I want you to do is literally the first thing that comes into your head, right? So literally, when you see people with money are, first thought,
Less.
money makes people, first thought.
Less stress.
And it's important, first thought, so I want it from your unconscious. I'd have more money if
I'm not sure.
my parents in the sport of money would
If,
above
I don't know.
and there. Money causes. And I'm afraid that if I had more money, I would.
Unless too many other people and not have as much as I wish I would have done for
Money is-
myself. But that's okay.
In order to have more money, I would.
Yeah, faith, love, is number two.
I think money. If I were really rich, I'd then add it. And finally, my biggest fear about money is
Not having it
Now,
thing.
one of the
Yeah.
in this particular exercise is beliefs that are sort of negative or prejudicial. They're things that are like people with money are selfish or something like that. Yeah. See, the thing is, if you hate rich people, how are you going to become one of them? Right? Your unconscious mind is going to stop you. Or if you've got a belief like, well, rich people, they're all crooks, really, aren't they? And a part of you would think you have to become a crook to get rich, and that's just not true. Right? Hello, sir, what's your name? Luke. Luke. Okay, so could you read out your sentences one at a time?
So number one, I put people with money are selfish.
Yeah.
Number 5, I put money causes war.
Money causes war. That's good.
Number 6, I'm afraid if I had more money, I would lose it.
Right.
Number 9, I think money is hard to come by.
Okay.
Number 11, my biggest fear about money is losing my current life.
Right. Okay. Now, here you go. You got some proper negative beliefs in your unconscious there. Now, here we get, what we're going to do is through a process of revelation, we're going to change our mindset about it. See, money is a tool. That's all it is, right? It allows the exchange of goods and services. Yeah. And just like a shovel is a tool. So, Luke, what I'd like you to do is replace the word money with the word shovel. So, people with shovels are. So
Hey,
it's
it's Brother
every
Crypto
single
Starter
money.
One.
I want you to
Hey,
read out the
we
word
love
shovel.
you, bro. He says best of luck to us both. Yeah, your video was awesome earlier, dude. That's so cool. We want shirts. You want to make some shirts, and you wear ours, and we'll wear yours.
Shovel.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway. You can have a code bandana.
Okay, what else?
Yeah.
My biggest fear about
We're jelly because you got birch already.
is losing my current life.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, very good. That's good. Make a big round.
Code wants to know where you get your merch at, brother.
All right. So, what I would like you to do, ladies
yeah, we want a video on
is I'd like
Yeah,
you
go
to
watch a video how you do it, he said.
and just change the word money to the word shovel. Just read it back to yourself. Try and keep a straight face, but if you can't, you're forgiven. Yeah, just read that back to yourself now and see if you're able to pull any of the negative beliefs. You know, like, I mean, I remember somebody once said, people with money are arseholes, something like that, right? Literally. It was money makes people greedy. You know, every single thing was a negative, right? And so he, you know, of course, he's having trouble getting wealthy because he thought he was going to have to turn into some kind of pit in order to get rich, right? What we're doing is we're using humor and insight in order to get a shift in our perception. Right? Now, I'll tell you why this is so important, right? That's because your unconscious mind is in charge. Thank God, right? You learn to do something consciously, like tie your shoelaces, and then you store the program in the unconscious mind. But as I said, a lot of our programs or habits or beliefs are formed in the first 7 years of our life by the key experiences, the emotional intense experiences, and also by things that are said to us repeatedly by authority figures. Now, years ago, when I started out as a hypnotherapist back in the 80s, I was like a senior, right? And he said, every time I start to get successful, I screw it up. And I sabotage myself. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, I know I'm doing it. I know I'm about to do this deal. And I go in and I screw it up. And now I wouldn't do it like this nowadays, but I was an old school hypnotherapist back in the 80s, right? So I bumped into the trance and I said, go to the moment this pattern happened, right? And what had happened is, as a kid, he said to his mother, when I grow up, I want to be successful. And his mother, who's a lovely housewife from the North England, went, oh, son, you don't want to be successful. No, successful people, they have heart attacks, right? Now, the thing is, there is no logic. There is no logic in the idea that success and heart attacks go together. But the unconscious mind is not logical, it's purposeful. And its purpose is survival, right? So you can think with your conscious mind all you want. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Your unconscious mind goes, I don't think so. And it stops you, yeah? So the unconscious mind was intervening because
somebody put his heart in my chat.
An authority figure told him something.
Much
emotional
love.
intensity, impressionable age, went bang into his unconscious mind. And it was sabotaging him since. Now, great thing is, as I mentioned, you're in a room with a hypnotist who knows how to undo unconscious programming that's either holding you back. Anybody here self-sabotage? Yes. Anybody here, I guess, that kind of, I'm going to get found out, that sort of, that fear of, yes, imposter syndrome, that's what it's yeah. Or anybody just think they're capable of more, yeah? Yeah, okay. See, the thing I found is that I asked people who's living up to 100% of their true potential. And only one person in all 25 years I've been asking that, I said yes. And that was Tyler Winklevoss, said at this moment, I had 100% of my true potential, and he just invented
The Gemini brother.
But apart from that, nobody says yes. And it's because unconscious self-sabotage, not feeling worthy, not feeling good enough, and you're not thinking rich and big enough.
Wow.
So what we're going to do is, see, with the guy who had the belief that he started to get successful in our art chat, yeah, what I did was I just pulled it. We're going to do an even quicker thing right now. I want you to place your hands out in front of you like this. Right? First bit of real magic coming out. Close your eyes and with your hands, I would like you to put the part of you that wants you to have a richer life. Now that can either be financially or it could be in, let's say, every sense. Healthier, better relationships, better career, finances, spirituality, and of course, happiness. That part of you wants to have your life.
Yes,
Okay.
come on, God.
And then on your other hand, I'd like you to put any part of you that stops you, limits you.
Happy, love it, I love it, I love you.
That's really good.
Yeah,
Its intention is positive, it's just overdoing it. Part of you that sabotages, part of you that doesn't think you're worthy, part of you that just isn't sure that you can handle it, whatever it is. Any part that's stopping you. Now, bring your hands together. So one is over the top of the other. That's right. And just sit with this for a moment. Because this is what we're going to do. We're going to ask the unconscious mind to find ways for both parts to fulfill their positive intent. So you both have a positive intent. One part of you wants to have a richer life. Another part of you might be worried that it'll change and be too much for you to handle, you don't deserve it, or something like that. And so it's got a positive intent. The positive intent is protection. Essentially. Let those two hands sit together. Now, when it feels like it's possible that they could work together, in theory, it's possible. Bring your hands towards your chest. Now, integrate this new superpower. Now, I want you to imagine what your life would be like as it becomes richer in every sense. Yeah, healthier, greater relationships, greater career, opportunities, more money. Yeah, spirituality and happiness. What will you see, what will you hear, and what will you feel? And when you've done that, I'd like you to open your eyes, relax your hands, come on back out. Who feels good doing that? By the way? Yeah. Do you know, I've seen this one technique, right? It's created by my friend Richard Bandler, and he's the co-creator of NLP. And he's a proper real life genius, right? And I've seen this one technique literally totally change someone's destiny. I mean, I remember years ago doing it with a lady on stage. She was dressed like a tramp, and she was a smart enough lady, but she didn't have any direction in life, she didn't have a relationship down, no ideas for business, but you know, it's all over the place. Anyway, I had to do this, and you could see something had happened. And I met her about 6 months later, and she was very smart in a suit. And she walked up to me all like confident and said, hey, and I'm very, oh, it's you. And yet she was in a functional relationship. She started business that was booming. I've seen this being a game changer. It can't be that easy. Yes, it is these days. But it used to take us 6 months to cure a phobia. Now most phobias are done in about 60 minutes. Do you remember years ago in the 80s, those cell phones were like a brick? You put it to your ear, right? And all you could do was make phone calls.
They were massive.
Nowadays, a cell phone is a stupid computer. You have access to all the information in the world.
For real, though.
Right? You can have your music, your office, your life on this thing. Yeah. Now, in the same way, psych tech, if you like, psychological technology has made this extraordinary leap in the last 20 years. And there are now all kinds of really great new therapies or psychological devices or technologies that we can use to improve our lives. So what we're going to do next is a video on power manifest. Now, I'm going to describe to you how it works first, and then I'm going to demonstrate it on somebody, and then we're all going to do this. This is possibly the most important, not one of the most important things we're going to learn today. And that is, you see, we all have a mechanism for letting us know how much money we have and how money comes to us, right? So I'll just tell you how mine works. I don't want to disclose any numbers or anything like that. So I see the motion is a bank transfer comes in, and I see, and it's like a block for me, and I see what the block says, yeah? And I've also got another one here, which is a tax account. And sometimes when I do this, people go, "This is not too much money." Yeah. By the way, you'll find when we're doing this process, some of you go, "Oh, it's almost too much." The author Brandon Bayes does this experiment where she says to people, "I want you to imagine you're going to this job interview and this salary." Then just before you go into the final interview, you got down to the last 5 people, you realize there's an extra zero on the end. So it's not 60,000 a year, it's 600,000 a year. How do you feel? and it's really weird. The majority will go, oh, it's too much. I'll go with it, yeah? So they've limited, their thermostat is set low, yeah? So what this process does
Oh,
is
yeah.
it undoes
Oh, yeah.
conditioning, beliefs, all these
Get some
things.
property. Or these things and get some property.
I increase it by about 10%.
Oh, yeah.
And
Lots of
the
people.
number increases. Some people see just a number, that's all they see, yeah?
Airdrops.
Other people see
Yeah.
it like that. Everyone, he sees it like confetti. His blood the other day, he saw it as coming from lots of sources of green color energy. And it was coming to him and it was filling up beside him. Yeah. So I want you to stop for a moment now and think to yourself, first of all, how do you know how much you have? So is it a number? Is it a block? Or is it represented in some other form? And how do you know money is coming to you? Payments are coming in, right? So it might be your salary comes in, or you've got multiple income sources from your various businesses or whatever it is. Yeah. Just notice how you do this. You do this specifically. This is the neuro coding, right? What we're going to do is we're going to take something that we know
Nice.
is going to happen, and we're going to make something that we want to have happen in the same coding. It says to the brain, it says to all your energy, it says
Ooh, I
to
love
the
this.
universe, make this happen, right?
It's O-ring.
So let me just choose something for this next experiment. What's your name, my lord? Franz, lovely. And where are you from, sir? Norway. From Norway. Beautiful part of the world, by the way, if you haven't been. And so, did you see a process take place when money comes in, when you know that you're receiving more money?
It's a feeling of expansion.
A feeling of expansion, yeah? So where does the feeling start? Where does it move to? Start here?
From the stomach and up to the chest.
Up to the chest, yeah? And how do you, now don't tell me any numbers, but you know how much you have in the bank, more or less. Right? Yeah, now, you visualize that number in front of you, to the left or the right, just point to where you visualize it, but there. So when you feel this feeling of expansion coming in here, does the number change there?
It does.
Brilliant. Come and join us. Okay, let's give a nice big round of applause.
Brilliant. Come on.
Hello. It's a round, yeah?
I've been dancing all week.
Ah!
Now we do.
Yeah, sure. You definitely are doing something very different. In fact, something life changing. Okay, so Raz, you said that you feel when you know money's coming in, you get visual experience, you get feeling, right? Does that have a color?
Purple rain.
Like purple rain, yeah? And then you know how much you have because there's a number. Did you point to it here? It's here, yeah? And what sort of size is it? Just give me the gist of it. Oh, right. So it's about this size here. And so, right, here's the magic, right? What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to see 10% more money coming in and that number go up by 10%. Feels good, right? Okay, I'd like you to do another 10%. That's it. You're instructing your unconscious mind, or your thinking, or your wisdom, or your behavior. You're instructing all your energy. Yeah, and then put it up by another 10%. That's good. And then that's it. Have that color richer, brighter, and bolder. See that number go up even more, another 10%. Woo! Then take it up 100%. Woo! Yeah, we want to alter this thermostat. Yeah, take it up another 100%. Woo! Even more coming in. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Start with
Get you some.
100%. Another 100%.
You're gonna be rich, yeah. Oh my God. He's gonna cry.
That's right.
You can't fucking believe it.
Another 100%, another 100%, another 100%.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh, man. How do you feel?
Rich
It's a
AF.
party on this side. It's a party on this side. Do you see a new number there now? I do. You do? Yeah. Okay, now,
God
what you
damn.
do is this every day, right? So when I started doing this every day, my earnings 10x, right, within a year. Yeah? Brad, thank you so much. Just give a nice
Come
round of
on,
applause.
man.
every day.
Yes. Let's both wake up doing that and choose rich every day.
So,
Oh yeah.
we're all going to do it, right?
Yeah.
What I'd like you to do is get yourself comfortable. Notice where the transactions, something, what lets you know that money is coming in.
All right,
But some
come
people
on.
just see a number go up, yeah? And other people, they actually see a process. You know, they see some sort of, movement of color or energy, or, they actually see a physical bank statement. Like I see a movement happening. It's coming from, and for me, it's like this. Other people, it's like confetti or it's blocks of money. And I see what happens. It comes in and that gets bigger. Some people just see a bank statement and they see that, right? So what I want you to do is notice how you represent money coming in, This is your unique neurocoding. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Then what I'd like you to do is increase it by 10%. There you go. See 10% more coming. And then increase it by another 10%, please. See more coming in. And you see the block getting bigger or the number getting bigger. And then increase it by another 10%, please. And another 10%, please. And another 10%. And another 10%. And another 10%. That's it. Get it really flowing in there. That's it. There you go. That's it. And then notch it up 100%. And 100% more. And 100% more. Woo! 100% more. 100% more. Just keep doing it until it's too much. That's it. Then push it even more. 100% more. 100% more. 100% more. 100% more. That's right. 100% more. 100% more. Woo! 100% more. 100% more. 100% more. 100% more. Woo! That's it. That's it. Build bigger accounts, tax accounts. That's it. Offshore accounts if you want. Have as many as you want. Have more coming. That's it. Keep increasing it. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. That's good. 100%. Let's go. Stop. Right. Who's got more money in the bank now than they started the show? Fantastic. Right. What you're doing is you're saying
I'm rich as fuck right now, my brain.
move me out of the limitation of what I think I deserve. Right, etc. Because of my conditioning, where I grew up, my expectations, and take me to a place with greater abundance, greater wealth. Right.
Right.
Yep. Because there has to be more money in the world. Because there's more people, and there's more goods and services that need to be exchanged. Right. It's the oil in the machine. So by doing this every day, what you do is you say to your unconscious mind, make it happen. Right. Also, if you want to get a little bit, quantum, energy affects energy, right? So what you're doing is you're using your energy, you're using your creativity. See, remember, you get paid for adding value or perceived value, right? Now, the reason I use the word perceived is because supermodels are paid more than doctors because they are perceived to be rarer, right? And more important by some people, yeah? But and when you say you work in a company, if you add value, you come up with ideas or ways of doing things better, or you generally just bring great energy and great service to the people that you work with, you're adding value, yeah? If you're an entrepreneur, have you got any entrepreneurs in here today? Yeah, okay, loads, right. Great. So in your businesses, think to yourself, how can I add more value, right? Well, one of the things I do is I always try and give more than I'm paid for, yeah? It's just, and it feels good, by
I love to give.
yeah?
That's my
I mean,
favorite.
obviously, giving too much.
Yeah, sure.
I can't wait to give. That's why I want to have so fucking much, because I want to give so much. I ain't got fuck all to give right now.
Give more back.
Well, I got lots to give. I'll give them like a motherfucker.
You get paid for the way the world works, right? So
Yeah,
what we do is
flutter.
unconsciously condition that genius biocomputer of your mind, and we're getting it to already think about having more money. Who do we get? Who's the person getting now? While we're here. See the money coming in? I say, more of it. See, coming in even faster, even more of it. More of it. More of it. Yes, more of it. More of it. That's right. Yeah. Woo. And then open your eyes and come on back out. You see, this isn't a lecture, right? This is a coaching session. Right? I'm sure you know the difference between coaching and therapy. So the coaching, you elicit the resources of the person, help them, have a richer, better life. And the therapy, you kind of do it to them. Yeah. So I would rather that you learn to do this for yourself and for your clients, because they will thank you. But they certainly will. And before we finish, we're going to do some hypnosis and create a compelling future for you. Right? Create an amazing future.
Right.
And
Go
so
ahead,
you can do that
hypnotize me.
with your clients as well. Because one of the things I love about my job is, firstly, I like helping people, right? And solving problems. Any right-minded person should do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's a difference between like a normal right-minded person and, say, a sociopath who couldn't give a shit about anyone. It's not a word for super selfishness. And a psychopath who are they're real bad people. They get off and hurting other people. So we need to find them and lock them up. Right? But a normal, right-thinking person, when you do some act of kindness, it feels good.
Come on
There's an
now.
old Chinese saying, which is, if you want to feel happy for an hour, take a nap. Want to be happy for a week? Take a vacation. You want to be happy for a year, go win the lottery. You want to be happy for the rest of your life, help other people.
There you
So
go.
it's a very noble profession you've chosen, right? And yeah, and I really do, right? Because
That's
years
really
ago,
good.
you were kind of either a shrink, right? You were, psychiatrist, psychologist, something like that. Or you weren't, there wasn't a thing called a coach. And I was so happy when this category got invented because I thought, this is great. So people that don't necessarily want to study medicine or, study some bollocks like Freud and that, but they just want to help people,
Funny.
right? There's a category now. And being a coach is a phenomenal job. And I remember, so I hired my friend Michael Neal. Any of you know Michael? Yeah, he's just the greatest coach in the world, right? There's somebody once said about him, if Superman needed a coach, he'd hire Michael Neal, which I thought was great. Anyway, I hired Michael, and my life got immeasurably better because he just sit and talk to me, ask me questions, intelligent questions, guide my mind in particular directions. Wow, it got better, right? And now he's a very, very successful coach, and I can't afford him anymore. But joking, Michael. And he really is fantastic. So the thing is, being a coach is a great job. And of course, it pays well, right? The average hypnotherapist earns $100,000 a year. That's the average one, right? I mean, most of the hypnotherapists I know earn like 4 or 5 times, right? Because they're real good, right? And it's the same with coaching. The better at it you get, right? What will happen is the word of mouth will start, and also your clients will want to sign up to get more and more of it, right? I'm just planting these seeds inside your unconscious mind. So let's get a little bit sort of metaphysical, but I can explain it scientifically. This stage, right? Me, you, the lights, screen, everything is all made of atoms and molecules vibrating at a density and a frequency. It's just the stage is a different density and frequency than me. That's why it's a stage, but not a me. Yeah. And so, in a sense, the whole universe is energy. It's all atoms and molecules vibrating at a density and frequency. And inside the atoms and molecules, quarks. And inside the quarks, it's not a thing, right? But we could go off on a big tangent there. But if I say to you, everything is made of energy, you can explain the entire universe in that, right?
Right.
It's all energy. And your energy affects other people's energy. Have you noticed, by the way? Oh, here we go. There's a scientific principle. It's called the law of sympathetic resonance, right? If you have 2 pianos in the same room and you hit a C chord on one, the C chord on the other vibrates in resonance, in harmony, yeah? Have you noticed how all of the sort of rich and happy people manage to find each other, yeah? And all the miserable bastards all find each other, don't they?
That's funny.
Literally, they do. All the fucking losers all find each other, right?
Yes, he's great.
And this is a true thing. I've heard this story that if somebody's winning, doing really well, right? They go and stand somebody next to them with a cooler. And this is an unlucky motherfucker, right? This is somebody who's nothing works in their life, right? And they stand next to them, and literally their luck changes. And I asked him, he my ears to see it. I said, it's true. He said, no, it's absolutely true. We have to do it because they're just winning too much, right? Some people are disproportionately luckier than others, right? And it's all to do with their beliefs about luck, etc. Now, as I mentioned, we're atoms and molecules vibrating at a density and frequency, yeah? And what we're going to do in just a moment is a process to alter somebody's frequency. So when you're angry, you're at a different frequency than when you're happy, right? Is there anyone who's really scared about losing it all? There's like a big fear for them. They're just terrified and it's come out of you. And it's me just, who should we have? So somebody who's terrified of losing everything, they've got fear of poverty. So, yep. Come and join us. Let's give a nice big round of applause. Please, step into my office, sir. That's good. Let's give a nice big round of applause. Hello. Hi. What's your name, sir? I'm Art. Great. Where are you from, Art? From Tenerife. From where? Tenerife, Spain. Tenerife in Spain. Oh, right, yeah. Fantastic. Beautiful. Okay, now, you have a fear of losing it all, right? Yeah. All right, we're going to deal with that in a second. So what happens is when you go through a trauma of any kind, what happens is 100 hertz wave travels from the thalamus and it phosphorylates what's called the AMPA receptors, right? You don't really need to know this. I'm just laying it out. Just like you don't need to mechanics drive a car. But what happens is when you touch here like this, so if you do this later on, this feels comforting, doesn't it? It feels nice. When you were a baby, your mother held you in her arms and she rocked you. And so what happens when you do this, you touch here and here, here and here. What happens is you release a delta wave, massive amount of delta, and it dephosphorylates the amber receptor. So we use this technique, like not turn you off, not just slightly inside like that. Perfect. So what I'd like you to do is place your hands like that. There you go. So I'm going to touch the side of your head. Now, I'd like you to go inside, and I'd like you to get in touch with the fear of losing it all. Imagine you've lost it all, you're destitute. And on a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how strong you can get that fear. 8. 8. Right, get it even higher. Imagine you've lost it all, nothing on the streets. It's really bad. You can get it higher. Tell me you can get higher. That fear so immense. What number is that fear at now? 9. 9, and clear your mind. Clear your mind. We're walking together on a beautiful beach. And with each footstep that you take in the sand, I'd like you to count out loud, please, from 1 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's great. Now, I'd like you to remember a time that you felt really good, the time you felt really happy and on top of the world, and just return to that time right now. Maybe you're laughing or smiling or having fun, and just tell me about that time. What can you see? What can you hear? And how could you feel after? Just tell me about it.
It's when I'm around 7 years old, and with my cousin, I'm having this incredible happy birthday day. Oh, wow. I won a lot of chocolate coins, golden coins, and we were making the coins with my stickers, and I win all the stickers, and we were playing a beautiful game, and then we went to watch the film Star Wars with pizza. It was the perfect game.
God, it sounds brilliant. I want to go. Okay, now, what I'd like you to do is notice when you feel the good feeling strongest in your body. And give it a colour. What colour is it?
Kind of golden.
Golden, that's great. I use gold too. Put that gold feeling, and I want you to imagine the gold feeling moving up through your neck into your head, around your face, down through your shoulders, into your arms and hands and fingers, down through your chest, into your legs, to the very tips of your toes, and then double the brightness, double it again, and double it again. Oh, so you're glowing with this gold.
I'm going to do that to you, babe.
Okay,
Rub you
nice.
like that. And get you juiced up and tell you all that.
Try and get that feeling of losing it all.
Hell yeah.
Losing it back. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong do you get? 3. 3. Wow. Oh, now, thing is, we use this technique called the behavioring technique. By the way, those of you interested in it, I would suggest every coach
That's why you see that
particularly
symptom
with
them holding your arms like that.
something for sending happy.
And they put them on the side.
PTSD. There's a whole
Yeah.
set of
see.
other things. The part of thinking was created by my dear friend Dr. Ronald Rubin. He's just retired. He's a medical doctor. He was also a Harvard PhD in neuropharmacology. And he was fascinated by the tapping technique, see, which was using a Chinese medicine. Okay? He's a neuropharmacologist, Harvard PhD. He's a smart guy, right? And he found the touch of certain parts of the body created this amazing release of delta, and that dephosphorylates the amber receptor. So yeah, it's just something you might want to check out. Havening.org is how you find out more about it. Now, what we've done there is we've taken away your overwhelming fear of losing it, right? Now, what we also want to affect is any feelings of avarice or greed, right? And look, you wouldn't be human if at some point in your life you would feel a little bit greedy, or a little bit. You know, some people literally want to, they want that avarice, money. Now, I'm not saying that's you, but we want to try and create that. And what we're going to do is, what this does is this depotentiates the feeling. So the fear of losing everything has now gone. It's hardly there. Yeah? It's a shadow of it, right? And it won't come back. Now, you want to have a mechanism that lets you know, say a bill comes in, you want to go, oh yeah, I need to pay that, right? Because you don't want to be reckless around money. Well, if you're continually worried about losing it, you'll treat money differently and it will treat you differently, right? So what we're going to do is we've knocked the edge off of fear of losing it. Now we're going to go after avarice and greed, like lust of money. Remember the Bible? Love of money. So I need you to close your eyes. And I need you to imagine you've got so much money. You want those leaf blowers blowing.
Yeah, you want to dive in it. Yeah.
You got it in your fridge. And you're expecting to find you planes and cars, fucking door and everything.
Yeah.
Feel the breeze, feel the average. Tell me when you can feel it. And then feel mine. And imagine
It's funny.
we're walking together on the beach with each footstep staying in the sand. Count out loud from 1 to 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then you go back to your 7th birthday. All those lovely gold coin things, the chocolate coins, the whole fucking lot. And then move that gold coin into your leg into your head.
Yeah.
Legs and dipsy toes, someone like this, and open your eyes and come on back out. Now, when you think about money now, what's the difference? How do you feel different?
It feels the right thing. It feels good.
It feels good. Right. So there isn't fear of losing it all. No. But there is, I've got to have it. You're what I would call, you are right now in the money zone. Your energy, you're oscillating, vibrating on a frequency that is not feeling massive attachment, move away and move towards. You're like a sort of Zen master when it comes to money. Thank you so much. That was great.
Yes, bro.
Right.
Come on, man, I can't believe it. Right here.
What I'd like you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is put your hands and things down, and I need you to stroke the side of your arms like this. And I need you to close your eyes, please. And I want you to imagine losing it all. I want you to get in touch with the fear of not having enough money or any money or whatever. The fear of losing it all. The fear of losing it all. And getting as strong as you can. Imagine you've lost it all. And it's terrifying. You're out the street. You've got the money. It's all done.
Thank you for the long time dropping your link in there.
And then clear your mind. Completely clear your mind. And imagine we're walking together on a beach. And I'd like you to count out loud from 1 to 20. Keep stroking the side of your arms. With each footstep that you take as you walk on the beach with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, keep stroking the side of your arm. So I would like you to remember a happy time, any happy time. And return to it like you're back there again now. Maybe it was a time you laughed with your friends, you fall in love, or maybe you achieved something, but just a happy, happy time. And return to it like you're back there again now. See what you saw, hear what you heard, feel how good you felt. And then what I'd like you to do is I would like you to notice when you feel the good feelings in your body strong and small. And I would like you to give them a colour. And then move that colour up through your neck into your head. So your whole head is surrounded by this colour. Then move it down through your shoulders into your arms and hands and fingers. And then move it down through your chest, move that colour into your stomach and your legs, into the very tips of your toes, and double it back. Double it again, double it again, and double it again, and double it again. So you're glowing with this lovely feeling. That's there. That's right. And then stop. And then notice where the feeling of losing all the money, where the fear is now. Fear should be dramatically reduced now. Next, let's go after avarice or greed. Ooh, gotta have it, money. Yeah. Any feelings you have like that, lust or something. Yeah. Money. Close your eyes and get in touch and try and get as much lust for money as you can. Right? You want to negate both ends. So juice it in the money zone. Get that lust going, that greed. Ooh, imagine those here. Oh, I see you've got big rooms stacked with money. You've got money stashing around. Don't it? Ooh, feels so good, doesn't it? Rolling around it. Then what I want you to do is clear your mind. And once again, we're walking on the beach. Count out loud from 1 to 20 with me, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then once again, go back to that memory, that happy memory, and see what you saw, and hear what you heard, feel how good you felt, and find where the feeling strongest, give them the color. Move the color up through the top of your neck into your head, all the way down through your shoulders into your arms and hands and fingers, down through your body to the tips of your toes, until you're glowing with this color. And then when you're ready, open your eyes and go back. Who feels good? Woo! Yeah. So remember, what we're doing with this, you see, is we're taking away the fear of losing it all. So you know these people are constantly off like a mouse on a wheel trying to walk because they're coming from lack. Yeah. And we're taking away breathe, and we're sitting in this beautiful place where we have money. Yeah. But we don't feel bad. We don't feel and literally the more I have, the better I feel. Yeah. Because see, when you treat it like that, it becomes like a drug, right? And as you know, with a drug, the more you have, the more you need. Right? So by doing this, it puts you in what I call the money, right? You're oscillating on a different frequency. You can feel that you feel different, right? So what we're going to do next, ladies and gentlemen, I promised I was going to hypnotize you. So we're going to do a little hypnosis. Yeah, just let me get this.
Do it.
Sit down for a second. Because what we're going to do before we do anything is we want to, again, you know, I mentioned power manifest is where you take something that you know is going to happen and you put something that you want to have happen in its place, spatially, in terms of size, color, everything. So that is the neurocoding, right? Now, when I think about tomorrow, there, I think about next week, it's further away. Christmas is over there, next year is over there. So the past, for me, is behind me. The future extends out in front. Some people have it go from left, like the past is on the left, the present is here, and the future is off to the right. Some people have it go down up. Some people have it go around them like that. So just think about some things that you know are going to happen. And think about, say, next week. Point to where next week is for me to show. When next month. 6 months from now. 1 year from now. There you go. Okay, great. Right, so this is what we refer to in NLP speak as the timeline. So you know that these things are going to happen. That's where the future is, yeah? What we're going to do is we're going to go and create an amazingly compelling future, and we're going to stick it in your timeline, and then we're going to back engineer it, yeah? We're going to say what happened before, what happened before, what happened before. See, this is why a lot of people say that they're New Year's resolution, right? For the simple reason that they're not really resolutions, they're wishes, right? If all you had to do was wish for anything, we'd all be living in mansion houses, you know, with fabulous lovers, you know, big cars and yachts. So, you know, that's all you had to do, right? We'd all be the perfect weight, we'd all be, you know, able to do exactly what we wanted. Wishing is nice, but that's all it is, wishing, yeah? I like to, this is when I do goals, right? And I'm pretty good at this, actually. I used to be relentless goal setter. These days, I have more of a direction in my life, right? Because I like to live my values, yeah? So, you know, I should get shit done, right? But this is how I do it, right? I go up into the future and I imagine what it's going to have been like to have achieved my goal. What will I see? What will I hear? How I feel. Then what I do is an ecology check, right? Ecology is the study of consequences, right? So I go, now hang on, to get here, did it cost me? Did my health suffer? Or did I fall out with people? Did I have to, you know, do you know what I mean? Is there something, is there a negative consequence to this goal? And if there is, I go, right, I'll change the goal. The other thing I ask myself is, what might stop me? What might get in the way, right? And so I can head those off at the pass, right? Then what I do is I go, all right, imagine I've achieved it. I step back on my timeline. And then I step back on my timeline. And I step back on my timeline. And then I come all the way back to now. So I've then got a series of images that show me the direction my life is going to take over the next year or 5 years or 10 years. Yeah. And what it's doing is it's using all of my energy, all of my thinking, all of my behavior, all of it to make that come about. Now, I do like achieving certain things. So these days, as well as goals, I like to live my values. Because, if all you have are goals, then you just on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Now, my life is very much like, I lived in the literally the lures of overachievers, Los Angeles for 10 years, right? And it was great. But, there I am with all these other overachievers, and someone else has a bigger house, more cars, whatever. There's no interest gap, right? And so these days, I live my values much more than just goal set. And by values, I mean those things that are most important to you. Just take a moment, right? My personal values, right? Things like health. Do I feel mentally and physically healthy? If so, I can tick that box. It's good, I'm winning. Next up is something like, do I feel loved? Do I love those people, my family, my friends, my dog? Yeah, I love, do I feel love in my life? Yeah. Then I'll do things like freedom. Do I get to decide most days what it is I want to do? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I have this great career, I meet fun people, and I love my job, and yeah, great. Did I laugh? A lot of laugh. I enjoy myself very much. I think, sometimes it would serve in life and stuff like that, but I just love laughing. It's the orgasm of life, yeah? So if I can tick those boxes every day, my life's in good shape. So just take a moment now, before we design your compelling future, and ask yourself, what's most important to me? Ask yourself that. What's most important to me? And you'll have a list of words. There'll be things like freedom or family or success. But of course, they all mean different things, don't they? Yeah. See, for me, rich is more than just money. It's definitely about money, but it's all those other things I mentioned. It's health, it's career, it's relationships, all those sorts of stuff. Just take a moment to get in touch with your values, because we're going to go and design a hell of a future for you. Then, what I'd like you to do is take a deep breath in and put your pens and papers down and relax, because it is time to go into a hypnotic trance. So we're going to put some relaxing music on. And I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes and relax the little muscles at the side of your eyes and side of your mouth. And relax the little muscles around your face and your neck. Comfortably aware of your shoulders relaxing, and relaxing down through your chest, stomach, and relaxing your legs and feet. And my voice will go with you as you relax now. Because you've been listening to me now, speaking, you've been doing processes with me, and you're aware of certain sensations that are a part of this experience. And this is the only trial that's happening for you now. Because we're going to go on a little journey. I'd like you to imagine floating up out of your body and floating down your timeline 1 year from now. And floating into the timeline. And I'd like you to imagine that you've had one of the best years of your life. It's been amazing. It's been absolutely fantastic. If that's true, what must have occurred in regards to your health, both physical and mental? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have occurred in regards to your relationships, personal and professional? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have happened in regard to your career? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have happened in regard to your finances? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have happened in regard to your spiritual life? If you've had one of the best years of your life, what must have happened to your general levels of happiness? And I'd like you now to imagine you're living this most amazing year. You're there in your timeline. What do you see, hear, and feel that lets you know that all is well? You're living the richest life you've ever lived. And what I'd like you to do is to float back out of the picture and float back 3 months down the timeline. And then make that picture of you 1 year from now really huge, like a cinema screen. And ask yourself, what happened 3 months before all that great stuff? Just get a sense of it. And then float back another 3 months down the timeline and ask yourself what happened 3 months before that. And then float back another 3 months. And ask yourself what happened 3 months before that. And then float all the way back to now. So I'd like you to look at your timeline and see a succession of images. The further away they are, the bigger they become. And in each one of those pictures, I'd like you to see yourself healthy, happy, and successful. And then brighten all those pictures up and make them solid. And float into that picture 3 months from now. And float into the picture 6 months from now. And float into the picture 9 months from now. And float into that amazing picture. Your life 1 year from now. Healthy, happy, and successful. And then take all of those good things with you and float all the way back to now and look at your timeline. Look at your rich, rich life. See it extending out. And then put pictures 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, way out into the future of you, healthy, happy, and successful. Then, I'd like you to do this every day. Look at your timeline. Live your values. Because your life is going to become rich. Money will flow to you easily. If there was any part of you that was stopping that happening, I'd like you to find new ways to achieve all the positive things that it does for you. And so money can flow to you more easily. You can imagine it flowing to you the way you did earlier. You notice how rich your life is. You literally say to yourself all the time, my life is rich. I am rich. I'm so happy and so fulfilled and so blessed. You feel grateful every day with a gratitude list because you love and approve of yourself. You are always good enough and you deserve to be happier and live an even richer life. Your life will be richer than you had ever dreamed possible before because we have programmed into your unconscious mind. You are going to live a richer life, become a happier person for the rest of your life. And you don't have to necessarily know right now how it is you're going to do that. Your unconscious mind will figure it out. Ways to experience the richness in each moment, ways to make more money, ways to feel rich because of all the good things in your life, your friends, your opportunities, things you enjoy, your hobbies, your interests, your passions. And every delicious moment that life offers you, you will become a richer person for the rest of your life. Soon, the times will wait for this experience. Feel refreshed, relaxed, relaxed, calm and confident, with a renewed sense of optimism and deep inner joy. Coming back now, as I count back, 10 to 1, reinforcing every positive thought you've ever had about yourself. 10, 9, 8. That's right. Really back now. 7, 6, 5. Ooh, you might want to stretch your yawn as you're waiting. 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide awake. Wiki, wiki. Oh, feels good. If you're interested in learning the sort of things that I do as a coach to maybe help your clients, we do a certified and accredited hypnotherapy course that runs regularly, and I have so much fun. Anybody done that course, by the way? Oh, yeah. Right. Well, there you go. Yeah, I mean it's a lot of fun. It really is. But it's also great to be here in the same room with you guys, meet you, and have fun. Thank you for being so engaged. Thank you to everyone who volunteered, by the way, who came on the stage. Have yourself a very rich life. I will see you soon. Be lucky, be happy, be blessed.
That was actually really good. Really good. I feel like we're gonna get rich. For sure. I swear to God. Like Brother James Money, 615 in the building. Much love and thank you very much for coming. Nicely. Oh, now I gotta put my thing on, is it?
Hey.
Hang on now, I got to put my thing on here. Oh, the cat is home and ready to eat. Oh, no. Oh. Connecting this thing here now.
Actually tasty. Yeah, we run shine.
Up here, one flip can spell disaster. In here, well, fish. So I trust the left body with dual lubrication before and after play to help prevent mixing. It's a razor you can really, really trust when it really, really matters.
The legal streams let criminals steal your personal data.
There's nobody here to listen to what I say. I hope that someone will, at some time in the future, listen to this recording with great respect.
struggling at maths.
For real.
Not really looking at fun. Because a lot of them have got a bit of funny bit differential.
Yeah.
Kanjis and like hyperbole and things like that.
So Hyperborea is right above Europe. In that one.
There's a whole lot.
Those
That's
are
the charge.
but actually tasty. Cadbury Brunch Light.
Nothing beats the Jet You holiday. It's book summer now.
Underground. No.
335 months and 5 rotations of the dial. 76 new cycles. Crown game. Right. Because the ring.
When everyone's home, prioritize your broadband for working from home. Search EE Broadband.
It's 585.32118.
That makes it out. That's crazy. what I can do. That one day, it's like funny example. Right, 2021 is that year, right?
Yeah. Yeah. $69 months. Well, I don't make videos one day. You know what's on that?
Well, you did it off on me, yeah.
Kind of.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Just a test go. Yeah, right.
So I didn't selection.
Yeah.
I just really put my screen actually on the video. Oh, all right.
That went on that, yeah. Yeah, I see. No worries. So funny. He's funny. Oh. Honestly. Eesh. I don't know.
Bronze best shape. Series 9 Trophy Plus. Exceptional closeness. No matter if it's a 1, 3, or 7-day beer. A noticeable
Damn.
smooth skin. Braun, the only electric shaver brand awarded Which Best Buy for 2 years.
Dang.
Today, we are going to show mathematically that the population worldwide in the last 1,400 years was basically zero. And the mainstream history tells us that at the exact same time period, where basically nobody was here, they were building palaces, castles, and cathedrals. And before we expose the population lie today, we have to get an understanding of how this all works from the bottom up. Welcome to Livestream, where we hold one of the most incredible structures in the world, and it's under investigation today. The Reims Cathedral, where we are being told that the construction of this cathedral started in the year 1211, where this is 813 years ago. Now, in the USA, they can tell us that these type of cathedrals were built in the 1800s. So they're at least trying to fit this type of construction into this mainstream timeline that we're given today. But when we go over to Europe, they just don't seem to care one bit. They throw dates around and everyone just accepted it for years. Could you imagine that next week, any city in the world tells us that one of these are going to be thrown together? I think the world would be shocked. Yet, when we are told that this was built 813 years ago, in the year 1211, we all just said, yeah, that sounds like a good year until now, because we have patterns to look for, especially when a building holds
That is
the
so
fire narrative,
massive.
where we have found over 100 buildings at this point that hold a fire narrative, which is no longer mathematically possible. I'm in the middle of counting them all up throughout the first 62 episodes, and I'm already over 100 old world buildings that have caught fire that we have found on this channel, that we have found this fire pattern on this channel. And we will soon have a running tally on the screen every time we find a new one. And this one's going to be added to the group. When we are told that this cathedral in France wasn't even the first one. They had an even earlier church that was destroyed by a fire.
You destroyed
a year
everything by
before
fire up there
construction
back then,
began
Dave.
on this new one. And this one lasts forever. So they knocked this thing out in 80 years. When, let's be honest, if we didn't have a power tool or a car or a shipping company or any architectural training processes today, do any of us actually believe that our civilization would just knock this thing out in 80 years? Realistically, I'd love to know in the comments below how long you think this building would take today. I'm interested to see what you all think, especially because we're being told that this building was built over 800 years ago. The fact that we can see these buildings all over the world, they're still here. It's not like I'm talking about something that's a hidden mystery. We can all go there and look at it and then compare it to the buildings that we produce today, which is supposedly over 800 years of evolving and advancing. It's not even close. So let's think about this for a second. We are supposed to believe that they had construction down and it was perfect since the beginning of time, yet nothing else advanced. Only construction, building palaces. was
Well,
the
it's like
only
AI
thing the
mating
1200s were
converted,
good
you
for.
know.
The problem is that the buildings are the only thing that are left from the 1200s, which is exactly why they're forced to make these dates up in order to try to explain them into our fabricated timeline. Whereas a car or a watch, a phone, a plane, and a helicopter, they've all been here before as well. They just aren't built into the ground all over the world for all of us to see where the buildings are. We are told that the designer of this cathedral, Jean de Orbay, and who exactly was this master designer?
Starting at point, making his debut for the branded national story.
Jean constructed the Abbey Church, or did he find it? Well, they tell us that the Abbey was found at the end of the 7th century. And don't worry, they had construction down, of course, still there in the town center today. When they go on to say 600 years later, Jean debuted building the St. Pierre St. Paul Church, where it was built between the end of the 12th century And we have all of this documented, of course. No, today we are going to show that there were mathematically basically no people here in the 12th and the 13th century, a time that the mainstream history likes to tell us was knocking out palaces. Welcome to episode 63 of my lunch break. I hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new, welcome. And I want to thank all of our sponsors over on Patreon. Thank you to flatterDave.com. You can check out his app. I'll put the link in the description, and you can use my referral code, MLB. He also has my lunch break on the homeschool section of the app, which is really cool. Thank you to Rebecca K, Don Gaston, Christopher Arietta, The Lady Lacey Show, David and Sherry Ferguson, Edwin Johnson, Chuck Templeton, Joy Lee, PNR, Stephanie Nolan, The Burleson, Suez KC, Dan Woodle, Dale, DJ Clicktrack, Edward and Brianna, Jacob Law, Jim Ridley and Christine Duggan, Kyle Glascock, Tim Rack, William Richard Jeffries V, PKTFnews.org, Magnus Paterna, Emro H, 3D6.space, Philip Power, Buck Suey, Dakota Dunn, D-Rock 33, Eric Martinez, Ivan Apostoli, Jesse DeLeon, Jim Bro, Kit Kat, Todd K, Edwin Rice, Elma, Charles Kruger, Daniel Zinn, Glenn Gunderson, Pacific Craft, Skip Ton Designs, D-Dub Custom, AgriTshirts.com, Meta, Jason Hochberg, Blake, Jessica, Alex and Cypress, Carla Fitzgerald, Natalie Shippenoff, Bruce C, Roy Schoenholt, Wayne T, James Alt, Danny G. Sure is superb, articulate, proving this. This is all based on trust. And this Zamir Schwery, Stony Starga, Roz Matthews, Shiba Shaba in the Darkness, Martin Oneg, and VKH Bonner. You guys are all awesome and helping this channel out a lot. So they were just throwing dates around, telling us that they constructed the St. Paul Church between the end of the 12th and beginning of the 13th century, from 800 years ago. We were all just nodding and accepting for 200 years with zero documentation proving this is all based on trust. And this group that we're supposed to be trusting has proven to be pretty shady, where they tell us that the architecture is superb, particularly the facade with its 2 towers, the choir with ambulatory, with 5 radiating chapels. Interesting. And telling us that in 1835, that the population of this location was only 1,000 people. And the population of England, since 1801, the exact timeline that we're talking about here worldwide, from the beginning point of this fabricated mainstream timeline, beginning around 1776, was at around 9 million people. It has grown to over 56 million in just the last 220 years. So if we do the math on this, the population is decreasing at a rate of 83.92% in just the last 220 years. And this fact alone should get everyone thinking. This stat shows that in the year 1141, the time period that they're talking about here, according to the math, based on data that they're providing, the population of England would sit at 37,898 people. In the entire country, having only 37,000 people in the year 1141, and knocking out palaces is not mathematically probable at all. You would think that there would be a single argument that goes the mainstream history's way. You would think that if their tales were true, this type of stuff would not happen. Yet every single time you go deeper, there is yet another flaw. The worldwide population mathematically was basically 0 based on everything that we know and have seen. In my opinion, I believe that anything before 1776 is basically fabricated and an attempt to fit into this timeline that we are all in. And this is when we take it a step further and we go to Spain. And according to the worldometers.info, Spain's population sits at roughly 47 million people, growing around 18 million people in the last 69 years. This drop off of people is so dramatic worldwide that, in my opinion, proves that the beginning of our timeline, our batch of people, was simply not that long ago. This is according to their math, their numbers, that anyone in the world can go look at. These people, the 12 and 1300, were supposedly also without shipping companies. They were without power tools, no light bulb, and suffering. Again, they give us these stories of the past and tell us that there were events. They tell us all of these things, where the population was this and that. But at the end of the day, we are not 100% sure that these stories from the 1300s are true. So the only math we can go off is what we are provided from when we are actually here and documenting. And now we can do the same thing with the worldwide population, where the population is decreasing at a rate of 66.1765% every 69 years. The rate of the population worldwide should not be increasing or decreasing by 66%. This is obviously showing that there's something going on. At this rate, 1886 would have realistically only had 928 million people, and 1817 worldwide would mathematically already have been down to 314 million people. And this is information that is provided to us, sitting right here in front of our faces, where they, in my opinion, are just waiting for us to find them. At this point, I think this is a game for this group to see who can figure this out. All of this information is all here provided with clues. All we have to do is simply look. The math doesn't lie. The worldwide population would mathematically drop down to only 106 million people in 1748, which was only 31 years after we are told that this group began. In 1679, according to this map, there were only 35 million people here. Worldwide, the population in 1610 would have only been 11.8 million. 3.9 million people in 1541, and if we bring it all the way back to the year 1200, 800 years ago, the exact same year that the mainstream history is telling us all about, like they were there and saw it happening themselves. They saw those 1200s and 1300 people just smacking those stones right into place, and they're there forever. They are telling us that it was built at the end, not the beginning, but at the end of the 12th century at this rate, every 69 years, decreasing by 66% overall. Nobody is even here. Only 17,700 people worldwide, and this is all based on basic math and numbers that are provided to us. And if this is true, this completely disproves these stories, these tales, that people in the 13th century were building massive cathedrals. It basically puts an end to all historical narrative, suggesting that a population of basically nobody, more specifically 17,000 people worldwide, were as advanced or more advanced than we are today in terms of construction that we can still see today, yet being primitive, wearing night outfits, and fighting with swords, having zero power tools, no light bulb, riding around on horses, and not having a single truck to ship millions of pounds of stone, no form of communication other than using their local raven to send messages to far lands, having provided zero factual evidence that they were ever even transporting stone, and zero mention of any training processes ever, leaving this part of the story out every single time, or ever explaining how these shipping routes were all figured out. Where is the evidence that we need to show that their stories are true? Where is it? That civilization of nobody with nothing had the capabilities to construct castles, cathedrals, basilicas, and the rest. No. Once you actually stop and think about it for 2 seconds, it simply doesn't add up. The 1200, riding by feathers and sleeping in huts, suffering in winters, yet knocking out massive cathedrals, faster and in most cases much better than we do today. And they last for thousands of years, and they survive floods, hurricanes, and the rest. And their population was mathematically proven to be basically nobody. This tale that we are told is nonsense at this point. Now that we all have an understanding that the worldwide population, the map, is on our side, that this is not probable, let's continue to our bonus today. I want to take a minute and thank all of our badge members, all of the Patreon, and every single subscriber. Because of all of you, we are able to go deeper into this research every single week. I'm able to share things that have been hidden to the public for far too long. And through this channel, and with all of your help, we all get to expose it to thousands of people. I also want to make sure we all know that we're over on Rumble and X, and I have those links in the description of every single video. I also want to say that for anybody new, we have a playlist that's called MLB Top 15 Episodes. I'll put that in the description below. I think once you've seen all those episodes, there will be zero doubt in your mind that we have been told a massive lie. An ancient cathedral located in Athens, Greece, a photo that was taken in 1860, 164 years ago, where we have shown that the worldwide population was just over 300 million, nowhere near the 8 billion mark that we are told that we have today. A cathedral that was sitting on dirt. We're going to zoom in on this thing and find something incredible. The detail on the front of this building is unbelievable. We know that Tartaria's flag was a griffin. We've seen this logo on buildings all over the world, which we've even seen in episode 40 when we went to Wisconsin, a civilization that I believe most likely originated in the Pacific Ocean in a no-fly zone today and spread out to the rest of the world from that point on, as we have shown in episode 60 and 61. As we get closer to the front of this building in Greece, we have a logo of the previous civilization. And again, these photos were taken in the 1800s in a collection by Nicholas Katsipoulis. And here we have the Acropolis in Athens, Greece. And I was just looking at this area on Google Earth, where there is another hill next to the Acropolis. I saw these stairs on the side of this hill. And it's weird because they won't let you drop the view down on them and get a closer look at them. It seems to me like this grass and dirt is covering a much larger structure that we can't see, with the stairs being exposed on the side. It looks like it's been melted and they've just built on top of it. Very strange. So here at the top, that's where these stairs are. And down here at the bottom is the Acropolis. So you can see how close they are to each other. And before we even look at the mainstream narrative surrounding it, it should just show anyone in a split second that this site was clearly constructed by an advanced civilization. We have detailed columns all over the place. We have some sort of stage here, and we have a mainstream story that should be a lot of fun for us today. And now that we have unlocked the advanced civilization of Mew in episode 60 and 61, that I think a lot of us enjoy, we understand where these buildings and people most likely originated from, where Lemuria holds the name Mew inside of it, putting it right in our faces. The Hill of Mew, where Mew is also right in the name, meaning a type of goddess in Greek mythology. Another connection to Mew. Very interesting. And before we go on with this mainstream narrative, I have to point this out. We all understand that these scaffolding that they have here for decades are put here to make us believe that our civilization is somehow helping the ancient structure survive, preparing it, when we all know that it doesn't need our help at all. This site was obviously destroyed on purpose. It's not crumbling and falling apart over time. The scaffolding is, in a sense, a magic trick. It's there to make 99% of people think that our civilization is giving this place an upgrade, making our civilization think that we are more advanced and that it needs our help, when it doesn't need our help at all. When we construct our buildings like this, and then you have the previous civilization's work towering over it, we are not evolving, and we are not advancing. We have a side-by-side comparison right here. Now that we have a solid understanding of this area and what it looks like a little bit, let's all take this thing up a notch and have some fun. We know that the population mathematically was basically nothing in the 1200s. We've calculated it to around 17,700 people worldwide. Now, could you imagine the 600, based on the math and the data that we've been given, at a decreasing population rate of 66.17% every 69 years, where we saw that there would have only been 11.8 million people in 1610 and 17,000 people in the year 1196. Well, I did the math, and based on the numbers that they have provided us, and based on a 66.1765% population decrease rate per 69 years, in the year 600, the population worldwide would have been 3 people,
What the fuck?
meaning that either the beginning of human existence was in or around the year 644, based on math, or something massive happened and reset the population very recent. Either way, something massive is going on here that's just been uncovered, especially when the mainstream history tells us that the Acropolis of Athens, Greece, was constructed on a massive hill around the year negative 1300 to negative 1200, which we know the population worldwide would have been 0. Even if the population hasn't always decreased to 66%, the simple fact is that going back in time, the population decreases. This is proven through the data that they provided us. The population in negative 1300, however you want to go about it, would have been 0. If you're going off the mainstream story, their data, you can say that there were plagues. You can say that there were these stories, when we know that these stories have massive flaws at this point. Anything provided hundreds of years ago can easily be picked apart. We have done this hundreds of times at this point, based on fact, things that we can prove, things that we have here, right in front of us, data. It proves to me that we aren't wrong. The population data was always a massive key for us, a key that proves that there was a previous civilization here before us. And something massive happened in this place that we all live, right around the year 1776, worldwide. This information, this data, that 3 people were here worldwide in the year 644. This map, been here. It's always been here. It's just been waiting for us to see it. And now that we all do, we can all go much, much deeper.
It's your code if you watch this, what this is called. A code breaker. It's a coded narrative. Oh boy.
In just 1 year, George Street was supposedly built. It's time to investigate even further. I have located George Street in all of his supposed projects. And remember, in the 1800s, he was doing projects that we cannot recreate today. In just 1 year, George Street was supposedly born in 1824. How old do you think he was when he was completing his first building? 35 would be shocking. 30 is insane. We are told that George Street got to work and built the St. Mary's Church in 1848, making Street just 24 years old. And if you go onto this church's website, they say he was 22, where his sister, an embroiderer, heard of a Cornish clergyman and needed a new church built. Who better to ask than a 22 or 24-year-old clerk? His sister, Mary, prevailed to give her inexperienced brother the commission for his brand new church. The rest, as they say, is his story. So obviously, this is ridiculous. And we need to keep digging because, wait, are they really going to keep doing this today? What was his sister's name again? And what is the church's name? Both named Mary? Okay, I think at this point we can be sure that they won't do it again. Right? No way. George Street, his name is George. What is the guy's name that is building the building that hired George Street? They're not going to tell us that this guy's name is also George. If they say that his name is George, then I don't know what I'm going to do, but what is Reverend Prine's name? You know, the Cornish clergyman who intended to build the new Street Mary Church, where George's sister Mary went and asked George Prine. I knew it was the AI before. I don't get shocked at things very often. one is just so in your face. It's incredible. The good old Cornish clergyman giving away work in Cornwall. Amazing. I think we can do a few episodes on this first George Street, and probably a few episodes on the second George and all the Marys.
Weren't you
Let
just
me know
talking
if you
about
want me to dig more into their narrative. So
George.
George Street, is George, the 22 or 24-year-old master builder. Remember, he was constructing this 1,000 room courthouse in London 7 years because he was kicked out of the script a year before it got done in 1882. And remember from our last episode, episode 52, this is the exact same time period where you have all this chaos going on around the world. Nobody is focused on these narratives. You have all these millions of workers all over the USA. You have the Civil War going on. You have slavery. You have all these insane high intensity type events going on all over the place. People were not looking into George Street and the hundreds of buildings that they were pinning on this character. In fact, even if they wanted to, it wasn't written in the book yet. And they didn't have the resources to prove anything. So they just had to simply believe it. And everyone accepted it as the truth until now. 1873 to 1881, George Street is pinned as the man in charge of the Royal Courts of Justice for those 8 years. I would love to know if he was fully focused on this project, one that we could never reproduce today in 8 years. And we have shown the Klecksinski building in Chicago, where it is a basic box. It took our civilization 14 years to build, from 1960 to 1974. Or was George so good at his job that he could also get multiple other projects done at the exact same time? 1873 to 1881, George has been pinned and said to have had 42 other projects going on at the exact same time. Still believing the mainstream narrative? They tell us that the Linenwold Castle, located in Amblin, Pennsylvania, was designed by Milton Bean and built in 1890 without any details on its construction. It was just done in 1890. Where Madison lived in the castle with his second wife, Mary, where after Madison died, the new people turned this palace into an orphanage called St. Mary's. Mary. So we have a massive castle done in 1 year or less. And for decades, that's all we needed to hear for it to be true. Until now, where we understand that logically, that is impossible, especially 134 years ago. And especially when it's a castle straight out of the old world civilization's home improvement catalog. Here on househistree.com, in the middle of this story that has zero logistical detail or anything relevant to actually building anything, and just has a bunch of nonsense, like naming sons royal, retired business partners, and telling us how many rooms are in this castle that they found. They do give us a tip. And the tip is the Windsor Castle. The sentence reads that Madison might have chose to model his castle after the Windsor Castle, which is the most popular answer. And it's the most popular answer among which group? Because that is definitely not the most popular answer to us. If they think it might be modeled after another castle nearby, they all dispute it for years and years. And remember, it's all nonsense. We have no idea who this group is that they tell us that this is the most popular thought. What I see in all of this is one thing, the Windsor Castle. And I want to see what year they say this Windsor Castle was built in. Because I bet you it is connected to this castle. And this castle in Pennsylvania might have actually been built hundreds of years ago, if not thousands. And they will give it all away with this Windsor Castle connection. Located in Berkshire, Windsor, built in 1070, over 954 years ago as a fortress, and covers 484,000 square feet of living space, divided into about 1,000 rooms. So something is extremely clear here. We are 100% being lied to about our history. And we all know that. But I have to say it out loud. Because 1,000 years ago, they are building 1,000 room fortress with ease. And it, of course, lasts forever. No questions asked. And today we have evolved so much that we can't build a sidewalk without stepping in it before it dries. Now, this is my opinion, but I can see them adding this Windsor Castle into the narrative for a specific reason. And I personally think it's to connect the date, that these castles are from nearly 1,000 years ago, when the previous civilization that had all the technology, had proper training, and had the logistics down, instead of the opposite happening, where we are told that there were no classes in castle building at the local community college in the year 1007, where they would go home to their shed and sleep with candlelight, freezing using barn hay as bed, and then waking up again, traveling by horse and wagon to pull stone and granite miles on a trail and getting this 1,000 room fortress done no problem. The timeline is clearly all over the place at this point. They could have told us that it was built in the year 1045. It would have made no difference. And people would have just believed it until you start digging deeper, which we are doing here. Episode 41 is awesome at showing the proper logistics of a project, if you're interested in that after this. The castle has, of course, 300 fireplaces, 379 clocks. Do any of our towns have any upcoming plans to knock a 1,000 room, 300 fireplace fortress in the next few years? What about half that? No. With our modern construction, 1,000 years after they did this, we should be able to do this with ease, since they did, without a power tool in sight. Supposedly, we have a better education system, so we are told. We have more knowledge than ever, supposedly. What is wrong with this picture? I would say a lot. Do you understand that something is wrong with the timeline? Something massive. Can we all see the lie very clearly? We have been lied to about all of this, starting around the year 1800, possibly right before that, where everything in our timeline began. And the old world buildings from the previous civilization are still here for us to see in every city, with insane narratives to try to fit them into this lie, where we are told that people from 1,000 years ago were less than worse off, and we are told that we have all this brand new technology in the last 200 years. Everything is brand new. Every company was created recently all over the world. Is that not strange to you? And we're told this new technology has never been here before. Planes, trains, cars, phones, computers, internet, and the AI, when it has. And in my opinion, it's been here many, many times before, and so have we.
Wait. Well, that's about it. I'm gonna turn this thing off. Thank you very much for coming, anybody that did. And that's about it. Thanks so much. God bless you. And